while, for about 30 days, a little over 30 days actually, I was in a trauma treatment center, and that's when I started journaling, like in earnest, I guess. I've tried journaling before. I have this little notebook, and the only thing I have written down for content creation ideas is to write about the trauma treatment center that I was in. And so that's what I'm doing today. So, I don't think psych wards are good places. In fact, I think they are the opposite of helpful. They are actively harmful. I've been to several psych wards throughout my life since I was 9 years old. That was the first time I tried to end my own existence, and it's, there's obviously trigger warnings for this video and content warnings for this video, but for the first time this year, I went to a facility that was a trauma treatment center. So it's really not covered by most health insurances, and I was really lucky to find a place that was covered by my health insurance. And so I went there. They had this really sweet welcome basket. It was this really great holistic place. They had equine therapy, they had holistic medicine, they had yoga. They also had a ton of therapists. They had therapists who specialized in internal family systems therapy. They had therapists who studied and specialized in art therapy, in psychodrama. They had group therapists. They had an EMDR therapist. So it was a really amazing place, and I was really lucky. They had a pool. It was really nice. It was like inside a mansion, but like it was obviously made safe for the guests there. And at times, I mean, they didn't let us have our full access to our phones or electronic devices, which sucked. But to be honest, we were there to focus on healing. And so it was this really small, like, patient to staff ratio, or guest to staff ratio in this case. And they gave me this journal when I was there, and today I wrote in it, the date, and I wrote sucky, more nightmares, good, I ate a big smoothie bowl because I have trouble with eating, hopeful, talking to and seeing friends. So that's something that I'm feeling hopeful about in the future. And there's tons of different ways to journal. This journal is a mess. I mean, it is it's very messy. I don't want to show the whole thing because a lot of it is like private and personal, but basically I want to talk about how I stayed in this treatment center for I think it was 35 days total. I got to have visitors. I got to have my phone during certain hours of the day to make phone calls and coordinate with friends and like talk to people from the outside and plan my treatment and stuff like that. And also just like have downtime, play video games, swim in the pool, eat really good food. They had for us. I actually got talking to about food because I have trouble eating, and they were like, we're not an eating disorder clinic. There's different places for that. So like unless you start eating, like you're gonna have to go somewhere else, which sounds harsh, but it's true. Like if a therapist does not specialize in like what your issue is, they need to refer you to another place. And so that's so I did start eating sort of as a way to stay there, but I would eat something small at least every day. But yeah, so I think that more places need to, I think that first of all, I think workplaces should cover this type of leave. Like I think this should be on par with I think we should get more paid sick days, period, because I was working myself to death, which is part of the reason that I was so suicidal at the time. Like my job was honestly contributing a huge amount to my suicidality. Like I wanted to end my life because I didn't want to go to work anymore. Like everything sucked. I live in a city where I don't have that many friends or support systems. And so that was also a huge contributing factor. I just don't have a huge support system. And honestly, the staff didn't really quite know what to make of me. Like, they didn't like me. Like, they didn't think that I liked them. They thought that I hated it there. They thought that I was gonna like call the Joint Commission on them and all this stuff. And the staff didn't quite understand me. And I'm a nice person. Like, I was really grateful. I made everyone cards, like, because I was so grateful for the compassion and how trauma informed the staff were. But still, they like thought I didn't like them for some reason. But anyways, regardless, I found them to be very trauma informed and helpful. And it was honestly one of the most healing experiences I've ever had in my life. Like, I've never had an opportunity to just rest and focus on my healing and go to therapy and just like, I mean, there was yoga and ponies, and it was one of those places that you see like celebrities going to. It doesn't seem like a real place, but it was real, and my insurance covered it. And I think that healthcare should be free. I think there should be more places like this. And yeah, I don't think the staff knew what to do with me, because most people there had outside resources. Like, they had some sort of family connections. They had some sort of like parents or family or some sort of solid support system on the outside. And for me, like, I don't have anyone. Like, it's just me. And I've been on the streets, I say. I was in houses, but I wasn't living with my parents. And from a very young age, I mean, I was still a teenager when I was like going through all kinds of horrific things that no one in their life should experience, and I was experiencing them on a regular basis. And my earliest memories of my entire life are of trauma. So when your earliest memories are of traumatic things, you know, that disrupts your development. So I already had this trauma from my childhood from my dad and his abuse. I'm a child sexual abuse survivor, and I already had that to deal with. And then on top of that, my mother essentially abandoned me, and so she gave up on me and made me feel very worthless, and continues to this day to make me feel worthless. And I've tried going no contact, so don't worry. I'm trying my best to take care of myself. I talk about it in therapy, and I do have therapy and I have support. I have an art therapist and a regular therapist now that I'm on the outside, and I'm working on it. I'm working on myself. I have goals. I have things I want to do. I'm a gamer. I'm a writer. I play violin. I do lots of things other than I'm not just my trauma, but that's such a huge defining part of like who I am. So I wanted to make this video to sort of not trauma dump or have huge trigger warnings or anything like that, but to talk about like what can we do as a society to make things better. Not that anyone's gonna watch this or see this or think about this, but I think that we need more sick days. We need way more time off than we get. We need way more sick days, way more vacation days. We need free healthcare. And we need more places like this trauma-informed place to exist. So that's it. There's someone blowing a leaf blower outside and it's really loud, so I'm going to end the video here. I had more things that I wanted to say, just about, I thought that I was going to have time. I played violin when I was there. I got to bring my violin and play it when I was there. I got to bring my books and read them. I even got to bring D&D, and we played like a little short session and make character sheets and stuff like that with the other guests. Guests here means like residents of the residential trauma treatment center. So yeah, I got to talk a lot with the RAs, who are like the lowest paid staff, but the most appreciated by me, and I'm sure the other guests who were there. And I was really lucky. I found one that was like, it's for women only, so it's for like femme people and like femme presenting people. And yeah, so I hope that this, I want to talk about this more on this channel, like the things that I've gone through, just because I think that they might be able to help other people. Like, I think that beyond just like journaling and gaming and stuff like that, I think that talking about some of the things that I've been through can maybe potentially, hopefully, help other people who are going through the same thing to know that you're not alone. Thank you for watching.